So, Walk Dog 2. That's a thing. It came out in June 2021, last year. Good couple months ago, but that's just it. A good couple months ago. Did you know it came out? Because it did. There's a Walk Dog 2. So, welcome to this Blazie review of Walk Dog 2. So, yeah, this movie came out. It's a thing. It's okay. I wasn't a huge fan of the first Walk Dog movie because there were so many reviewers. There were so many people. Well, furries, not reviewers. I'm a furry reviewer, though, but not furry reviewers, just furries in general, that came out and were like, oh my god, this is better than Zootopia. It wasn't. It was a perfectly okay movie, but not better than Zootopia, that's for sure. And I was very mid. I think I gave it a 5 out of 10 in this very old review.
The first 15-20 minutes of the film is enjoyable. It is. And it seems like it will be fun. It seems to take place in like an old sort of China setting, all snowy mountains, and where all the sheep live. They love their music, and they make clothing out of their wool and all that. And it's like, okay.
Like I went back and I went back and like did take a quick look at the review, and I was like, my god, that's just wow. Like, this movie came back out in like 2016, 2017, something like that, and it's like now suddenly there's a sequel. Not only one sequel though, no, there's a third sequel coming out this year. Yeah, they like suddenly, yeah, 2 and 3. Like, they didn't bother waiting to see how the second movie went, I don't think. Just suddenly, yep, there's going to be another sequel coming out. So I guess I have that to look forward to. I don't know. This ain't real guitar. It's Guitar Hero guitar. I don't know why I got it as a popped. So alright, yep, okay. So again, I was very meh about that movie. Like, it's fine. But, so, I wasn't particularly excited about going into watch this movie. I pretty much only reviewing it because I know it might get views, because other furries will be like, oh, there's a Walk Dog 2? What? That's one of my favourite movies, or something like that. So, hello to those people. I am sorry for shitting on your movie that you like. Again, I don't think it's that bad, but it's not that great either in my... Anyway, let's just talk about the second movie. Again, this is a lazy review. For those who don't know, I don't have a script. I don't know what I'm saying. I can hear the cops outside coming out to get me. I do have like little notes written down, which I can't see at all. I can't read any of that. Excuse me a second. Like, okay, so I'll generally just go through kind of just everything about what this movie is and all that. So Bodhi and all that are like very successful. They're not like in like a big huge band, or like they're not like big huge rock stars. That's it. They're not huge rock stars. They still do their little shows basically out in Bodhi's village. Him and the fox and the stoner goat. Yeah, it's just those three just doing it, and they're like got huge fans. The wolves now live with them. Like, they have like the wolf, like in the first movie they had the mafia, who were like, the wolves were like the mafia, and now they just have wolves living in their village with them, with the lambs and all that. It's just kinda like, I kinda like that, honestly. I actually kinda like that. Even though they're just generally living there because I like Bodhi so much, basically, but I kinda like that aspect. That's kinda funny.
Bodhi, can you and the band pose for a minute so we can get everything just right?
Yeah, we want the world to see this and know how much we love you.
I hope the world knows who we are one day.
They will, Bodhi.
He's doing pretty well. The dad character is very different in this movie for the most part. He's very much just like a rock dad now. He absolutely loves the rock music and everything. He does a lot of rock puns kind of thing. Or a lot of his sayings, he will just like mix in lyrics from songs and such, which is kind of funny. They do that a lot in this movie, though. There's so many times where they put in lyrics to songs just in like the middle of their dialogue, and it kind of works. It's kind of great because of this movie, like what this movie is. You know, Walk Dog is all about, you know, walk music and pop music too, but mostly walk music. So it kind of works, even though it could be it's maybe a little cringy. It kind of works. I don't remember if I did that in the first one, but we definitely do it here. But yeah, the dad's very supportive. That's the word I was trying to think of. His dad is very supportive of his son, and I did like that. Like, he's very, very supportive of him now, and like everything he does and everything. And I do kind of like the dad character now in this one because of how supportive he is, but then he's just kind of silly as well with like some of the stuff he does. Like he will just be like listening to Walk and just wiggling his butt all the time. It's like, oh my god, Dad, stop. It's kind of funny, you know. There's never a moment that made me chuckle in this movie, honestly. Besides one, and I'll get there towards the end if I remember. Again, there's no script. But for the most part, there's nothing really that made me laugh. They really tried. There's these two characters who are like two little wed pandas who are big fans of like True Blue. I think is what they call themselves, the band. I think they call themselves True Blue. And they're like huge fans of them, and they even like follow them around like most of the movie and such. They go on tour with them in the movie, or like they follow their tour, I should say. And they're definitely meant to be like comic relief kind of characters, and two little, like a duo kind of thing. But they're not funny. But like they're harmless. They're not annoying. They're just kind of there. Is the thing with them. Yeah. Put that aside. So basically, it kind of starts off like right away with a villain, and that's what's it called? The Walk Park, the What Stars Park, or whatever. Like the little park area where I think he first met his little team, the fox chick and the goat. I believe is where he met them there, or just just that little park, Walk Park. That's apparently going to be taken down, and it's like, oh no, you know, like they want to protect it and everything. And then we go off to this building where the main bad guy is, a big sheepy lamb dude. I think sheep. Yeah, no, duh, he's a sheep. Because of something that happens later. Yeah, he's a sheep. But, like, first of all, a fucking Cheeto dude walks in. Like, I don't know, he looks like either, like, Hunter from Spyro or just, Cheeto dude. He kind of walks in and then, like, talks to this, like, boss, his boss, a big sheep dude, big British sheep. And it's kind of confusing, kinda, very, sorta. It kind of makes sense towards the end, but like basically he wants to pretend to destroy the park, and then basically do like a little walk star, kind of. Trying to think of a word. Sorry. Excuse me. A little benefit. That's it. He wants to do like a little benefit with all the rock stars come in and basically gather them all in one place. And that's all that's really kind of said there at that point. But basically, I'll get into it later. That's basically what he says there. So he wants to kind of just make money off it, but there's a little bit more to it later. He sees footage of Bodhi and like his the True Blue, and goes over and visits him, and then pretty much like tells him like, oh, you should come join us. You should come join me. I will like help you become a star. I'll take you guys on tour. We can do great things and make you big. You know, he wants to make it big. He's like a music producer basically, and he wants to make Bodhi big. But he does have, just those evil little plans, you know. He's straight up told to be a bad guy in the end. So, you know, there's, like, little things, because then, like, his dad character, like, the dad, then is, like, saying, like, he doesn't want his son to go. And this is where it does get a little odd, because then he does sound like the old dad from the first movie, While the rest of the movie, he's always just been like, no, I will let my son be him. I want to see him become a rock star. He is a rock star. I want him to, become huge. I want him to become a star. And now that he's got an opportunity to, his dad's just like, no, I don't trust you at all. And all this kind of stuff, and it just doesn't... I just realised something. Oh, okay, movie, that's clever. That's clever, movie. I just realised something. That's kind of clever, movie. I get it. So, you know what? I will reveal it. Look, no, I kind of have to now. I kind of have to reveal something now. So, look, okay. I don't know, I'm just trying not to see if I don't want to spoil it or not. Because it is a decent little reveal. It is actually a decent little reveal. So, I won't try to. But yeah, his dad realizes something, like he just knows something is wrong. Basically, he knows something is up with this guy. And so he doesn't want his son to go. But in the end, the dude manages to convince him and gives him a brand new guitar that like he's been kind of secretly working on. He saw him like working on with like this German wolf dude, which his dad is still like very racist towards wolves in this movie. Even though they have wolves living with them, he's still just like, I don't trust them, you know. Just like, oh, is it the wolves attacking again? And it's like, no, dude, no. And so so Bodhi and the two others, like Dharma, I think the fox's name is, and that's just a stoner goat, just the stoner one. They all go back to the city and all that, and then they end up going on tour, going around. But they're also like the opening act for Little Foxy, a new character who's just another fox, just like a little fox. Which I was kind of confused if it was like a child or something like that. I don't know, but they do use a lot of bad auto-tune. I wasn't a fan of this character or anything. They're very basic kind of... They were sort of a love interest-ish kind of thing. Like, her and Bodhi had a thing. But she's like working with a bad guy kind of thing, or like he's like the producer of her, you know, he helps her make the music, make her big and everything like that. I guess not too much of a spoiler alert, but she's just like, she's not actually like with him, like he's not actually helping him or anything like that. And so that was it was kind of confusing. I expected her to be evil or something, because she was because of her size, that she was so different to all the other foxes that are in this movie. They're all like tall, skinny foxes, but her, she's just this little kind of stout, kind of just not muscular, but she's got some fat to her compared to all the other foxes. So I expected something different about her, like there was something there. But no, she's just, that's just her design, you know, which is a little weird to me. They could have, I don't know, I feel like they could have done something else with her design, you know, make her like a raccoon or something like that. If you wanted someone to be the same height as Bodhi, basically is what they were doing there. The story ends up basically being a really, 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 really simple plot. And basically, the sheep dude wants to make Bodhi big, and like him and Lil Foxy are basically telling him, this is how the real world works. You don't care about anyone else. You have to worry about the numbers. You have to worry about the times. You know, like your likability matters so much. You know, it doesn't matter how much you put your soul into it. That doesn't matter at all. What matters is you keep doing the same thing over and over, because that's what the fans want, you know. They want to hear the same song over and over kind of thing. They don't want to the uniqueness basically, and yeah, and slowly, because Bodhi is also kind of falling for Little Foxy, kind of sorta, he ends up going along with it all and just going along with like that's the world we live in, that's what we do. And so so eventually breaks up with his team and all that, you know, like the Dharma, the fox, the girl is all moody at him, while the stoner dude just is kind of out of it, doesn't really care, you know. But even he kind of leaves, and so they all kind of just break up as like, then realization, oh no, the bad guy is the bad guy. And then they it's all about like, oh my god, I was an idiot, my band was right, you know. It's extremely basic story like that. It's extremely basic. Now, okay, so one of the big things, obviously, in Rock Dog is the music. The music is good, but they also use the same song over and over and over and over and over again. And I like the song, but because it's over and over and over again, you get so sick of it. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. It's extremely annoying. I hated it. I end up hating it at the end because you hear it over and over again. And what are the other songs? I'm sorry. What other songs you hear are just kind of generic, you know? Like there's like maybe like one or two good songs, but they are very generic, just kind of talking about, well, singing about what's happening, you know, like the kind of mood they're in, and, you know, that kind of thing, you know. There's nothing special there. Like, I feel like, they tried to make, like, a big song there, but obviously, they played it over and over again, and they would generally play the same songs over and over and over again. Like, the Fox girl will sing one song over and over, and it's not good, because it's really heavily auto-tuned, and it's just, it just doesn't really work. And basically, it's also, with the German wolf, he's been helping to create this like sound booth, this big little sound booth. Eventually Bodhi goes into, plays a song, but then also like, because he still has his powers, he still has like his blue little power things, and everything is his spirit kind of thing. That's like one of his big things, his big draws. You know, that everyone like feels his spirit, everyone feels so loved and just happy whenever he's playing his music. And basically that's what the big bad is trying to do. He's trying to capture that. He's trying to capture that essence. And eventually, he does so, and then reveals himself, and he is the big bad to Bodhi, and kind of just kicks him out, goes into the sound booth, starts playing music himself, and then basically gets his own powers in. It's all like this green kind of electric-y kind of powers for the most part. And so then he goes off to so that's what's been happening the entire movie, basically, of him sending Bodhi off to do a tour. Is basically Bodhi's been been putting power into this guitar that was given to him, and so it's slowly been building up more and more power, until at the end he steals that power for himself, and like Bodhi still has his own power. It's just been also gathering up in this guitar basically, and at the end he goes to the benefit and basically then uses his power to mind control everyone. And then to raise up all these metal walls. So his powers are kind of unexplained, because he also attacks Little Foxy with his powers, and like uses as like big electricity kind of figure shoots out at her. She's fine, but then it is revealed then that like she isn't a bad guy, and just kind of was just an idiot going along with him and all that. And then so like basically then it ends with like him and Bodhi having like a guitar battle kind of thing with the powers, and the whole Blazie, Kamea Mayor Wave and battle, kind of key battle, that's it. Having like a key battle with the wave blast, hitting against each other, and it could have been a really cool scene. It is a cool scene. The idea is really cool. It's very Rockstar kind of thing. Like, yeah, have this kind of Rockstar battle. Yes, with all the stuff flying about. That's really, really cool. That's metal. But the problem with that is the music doesn't really line up with their fingers and all that, their movements and all that. I don't feel like it's them playing the song. Basically, well, when they're doing like the singing and all that, it works there. There's some good moments where like Bodhi is dreaming and he's playing music, and those moments are really, really cool. I actually really enjoy the visuals and everything, and it works there. Here, it just doesn't. At the end, it just doesn't work. The music doesn't really work with what's happening. And, like, it's perfectly fine music. It just doesn't feel like them playing it, basically. And that kind of sucked. It kind of drew me out of that scene, basically. But yeah, of course, Bodhi wins, saves the day. It's basically a message. Basically, the message ends up being about being who you are, being true to yourself. And there's a couple little moments here and there where I'm just like, ugh, because then the grandparents get like bossy at the dad and all that, because like he's all like being all like fun and happy for his child, and they're basically just like, oh, don't forget tradition. He's just like, at one point, he's just like, oh, I wanted pancakes, the dad wanted pancakes. And that's kind of a little funny, he's kind of being a little childlike. But then it's like, oh, but yeah, you have to remember tradition. Tradition is important. Tradition matters, and, it's like, don't forget where you came from was one of the big memories as well. One of the big things in this movie as well, is don't forget where you came from. And then, in that case, why aren't you eating a bunch of berries and mushrooms and whatever you could forward, from back when you were cave people? That's tradition there. You can't forget about that, but you're going to make up your own bullcrap traditions. Why can't pancakes be a new tradition? No, you guys just love your old stuff. You guys don't want new things. Yet, that is a new thing. When that first came into it, you weren't always making dumplings or something like that, back in caveman times. That's just me. I hate the idea of traditions. I really do. I get it, but the idea that like traditions are so important, it's not really. New things matter a lot as well. Trying new things, But that's just my opinion. That's just my thing. Anyway, but yeah, there's a couple of moments where like even the mom is just like, I don't like what you're doing. When it comes to the dad supporting his son, yes, he's kind of making a profit off it by selling keychains, because they're making like this big monument kind of thing for Bodhi, and he creates like a big monument. They're making a big monument and like sticking keychains to it basically, and he's kind of making money off it, but it's because he's supporting his son, and he's kind of making money for the village, and he'll make it, he'll do everything, and then he'll also give him money to his son, in the end, or not. But his mom is just like, yeah, I don't, or his grandma, well, I guess, yeah, the grandma character is like, I don't like what you're doing, and it's like, well, what about tradition? If this doesn't feel traditional for the village, and it's just, shut up. That's just me, I hate that kind of stuff. Sorry for that little rant. That's one of the big things as well, which is what was the one moment that made me laugh. So, when the dude gets his powers, the bad guy gets his powers, he creates a massive storm that ends up creating an avalanche at the Snowy Mountains where his dad and all that live. And so, for one, the monument gets destroyed, then an avalanche comes down, destroying the village and everything. Everyone makes it out. The dad's kind of counting everyone, and then it's like, there's one more missing. Oh no, what's his name? Oh, What's his name? I have it written down. I think it's Carl. Cole.
Coral.
Carl. I was right. It is Carl. Cole.
Coral.
So there's a character called Carl who's the one who's like, I think he was, I'm very sure he was in the first one, he always wore a towel. And he does in this movie, he's always just wearing a towel. And he's the only one that's left behind because he's too busy singing in the shower. And honestly, that was kind of funny because it's like, of course it's Carl, of course it's that one. I don't know, I did kind of find that kind of funny.
We're one shy. Carl!
This is where I wanna be. Hi.
But yeah, for what it is, I didn't think it's that bad. I honestly didn't think that bad. The animation, I can't remember like what the first one was. I feel like the first one had better animation. Like some of the movements or whatnot do feel kind of cheap-ish animation, but it still looks nice. A lot of the guitar moments are good because like the animation there does look nice. There's some like nice colors. The models look good and everything. There's nothing in particular that's bad about this movie. There's nothing particularly bad about it. It is very average like that. It is very average. But I would say I enjoyed this movie more than I did the first one. One of my big problems with the first one was Angus, I think his name was. This cat character. I hated him so much. I found him so annoying, and I just most of that movie focused on him at one point, and it was just like, no, just focus on Bodhi. Go back to him. I like Bodhi just fine, but yeah, they focus so much on this other character, and it's just, go away. I don't like you. And he's not in this movie. He's not in this movie at all. They do one little thing with him. Basically, he's off with his mum. Basically, again, doing that whole tradition thing. Don't forget where you're from, kind of thing. Keep in mind, this is a movie based on China and such. You know, China's traditions. Yeah. Love you, China. It's actually based on a Chinese book. I might have to actually look it up. I'm very sure it is. Yeah. Which is interesting. That's kind of interesting. Or a graphic novel. I'm not sure if it's a book or simply a book or a graphic novel. I think graphic novel. I think. But yeah, so I trying to think of what kind of score to give this movie. If I should give it a 5 or a 6. Because again, I enjoyed it more than the first one, and I think I gave the first one a 5 out of 10. But again, I enjoyed this one better, but it's still an average movie because the plot is different. You know what? I'll give them a point for something I will spoil after this. So I will say, I'll give it a 6. I will give this movie a 6 out of 10. Yes, it is still very average. But there's a twist in there I did not see coming. I will give them that. And then, like, I did enjoy the music. I enjoyed the visuals. I like the characters just fine. It is a very basic story. Very, very basic. I will spoil something now, so if you don't want to be spoiled for it, do all the like, comment, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. And now guys, spoil. Turns out the sheep is a wolf. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing. That was kind of funny. That was actually kind of funny, and I did not expect that at all. It turns out it is the exact same wolf. Like, it's the same wolves, it's the same mafia, it's the same mafia boss dude, and it's basically he's just like wearing like a fake head, basically a mask or whatever. And I kind of like that. I honestly kind of did. Like, yeah, it made the villain thing, him being a villain, a little bit more interesting, I guess, in a way, because it basically, when Bodhi did his thing in the first movie, he remembered that he did love music, that he was a big music person, He tried singing when he was younger and it failed. And so now he wants to like rule over music. It's not about power exactly, even though he wants power. But he basically just wants to control music and be the boss of the music world, basically. And so that's why he wants to like control everyone. When eventually, yeah, he gets that kind of power that Bodhi had. You know, he can control people and such. And it was a little bit more interesting in that sense. Again, main plot, very basic, but I liked that aspect of it. I thought that was actually kind of fun. So yeah, that's the end of this review, I guess. See you in a couple months, I guess, when the third one comes out. I'm not sure when it will come out. Probably not until like late next year. Late this year. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll be June as well. So June 21 and then June 22. Yeah. Maybe so. I apologise if this review was a mess, because that's how lazy reviews kinda are. I very much forget about the movie I just watched. I'm very bad like that. Very, very bad. I'm bad at explaining. That's it, I'm bad at explaining. Anyway, I'm warming this. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to our channel, because I love you if you do. Blah. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, because I'll love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Don't go following traditions. Be who you are at heart. Follow your soul. That's what I say. Because that's the whole thing, yeah. It's like, yeah, you gotta listen to traditions. You gotta respect traditions and all that. It's basically saying don't be your own person. Don't like things. Well, you have to like traditions, respect traditions and everything. Yeah, respect them, but be your own self. Bye guys.